What if you woke up one morning, no bed, no alarm clock, no fridge, no toilet, no Wi-Fi, no Uber Eats, and the first thought in your head wasn't, what am I going to do today? It was, please don't let a giant animal eat me before lunch. Welcome to a normal day in the life of a caveman. Now, when I say caveman, I don't mean an ancient human literally living in a cave. That is a cartoon version. Because some lived in shelters, some moved around, some slept near fires, and some followed animals, and some even further stayed with their groups. But for this video, we are following one ancient stickman. His name is Grug. I made it up. But look at him. He's clearly a Grug. Now, this is Grug's day. So we start with the morning. So Grug wakes up, not in a warm bed, not under a soft blanket, not with a phone alarm playing some peaceful bird sounds. He wakes up on the ground. The actual ground. There is dirt right there. There's a rock. There is insects. There's probably something crawling near his foot. And Grug just accepts this because this is a normal life. So Grug wakes up. He stretches, looks around, and immediately picks up a stick. This is his morning routine. Wake up, check if you're alive, pick up a stick, and begin survival. And honestly, this is a very stressful way of starting your day. The first big problem is food. So today, Grug is hungry. And there is no cereal, there's no bread, there's no corner store, there is no, let me go and check what's in the fridge, because a fridge was not yet invented. The kitchen had not yet been invented. A house had barely been invented. So Grug has to go and find food. And this is where ancient life becomes ridiculous, because for us, morning might mean open the cupboard. For Grug, breakfast means staring into the forest and hoping nature is feeling generous. Luckily, Grug sees some berries. Nice. Food. But then Grug pauses, because ancient humans had to be careful. Some berries are food, some berries are medicine, and some berries make you see sounds, and some berries make you permanently stop being alive. So Grug does the ancient human thing. He looks at a berry suspiciously. He pokes them with a stick. He smells them. He watches if birds eat them. Then he takes a tiny bite. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea, but apparently this is science. And this is one thing we have to respect. Ancient humans were not stupid. They were learning the world the hard way. Every plant, every animal, every sound, every smell, every mistake, this was all knowledge. The next part of Grug's day is hunting. Now this is where things get worse. Because hunting sounds cool when people talk about it now. People say things such as, ancient humans were hunting, and it sounds so powerful. But imagine actually doing it. You're a stick man with a wooden spear, and the animals you're hunting has horns, it has muscles, it has speed, and absolutely no respect for your future plans. So Grug sees the animals' footprints. He points at them proudly. Grug has found tracks. Then Grug starts to follow the tracks. I don't know why he thought following the footprints of a huge animal was a good idea. But this is survival. If Grug wants food, he has to take risks. He moves quietly, he crouches, he listens, he looks around. Every sound matters, every branch snap. And Grug freezes. And I freeze too. Even though I'm not actually there. Because in Grug's world, a random noise could be lunch. Or it could be something looking for lunch. And that something might be Grug. Eventually, Grug finds the animal. It's huge. Much bigger than him. Grug looks confident, so he raises his spear, and the animal looks at him. And there's a long silence. Then the animal runs away. Grug misses completely. Beautiful. Very brave. Zero food. And that is so important because hunting was not guaranteed. Ancient people could spend hours tracking animals and still come back with nothing. So Grug couldn't just rely on being brave. He needed his group. Because the real secret for human survival was not one caveman being amazing, it was teamwork. Groups shared information, groups protected one another, groups hunted together, groups gathered food together, groups looked after children, groups remembered where the waters were, they remembered which plants were dangerous, they remembered which animals to not annoy unless you want to become a historical example. So Grug returns to the group, and thankfully someone else has found food. Maybe some roots, maybe some nuts, maybe berries, maybe a small animal, maybe fish, maybe something that looks disgusting but apparently counts as dinner. This is why you don't leave survival to just Grug. And now we move on to one of the most important parts of the day. Fire. Fire is everything. Heat, light, protection, cooking, community. Without fire, the night becomes much scarier. So Grug walks over to the fire. The fire is small. Too small. I'm not even there. But I still panic because if the fire goes out, the whole group has a problem. No microwave, No matches, no lighter, no electric stove, just effort. So Grug kneels down and tries to keep the fire alive. He adds wood. He blows gently, too gently. Nothing happens. Then he blows harder and ash goes in his face. I don't know why he put his whole face in the smoke, but okay. And eventually, the fire grows. Everybody's happy. Grug looks proud. To be fair, that's the best thing that's happened to him all day. And he's right. Fire changed human life. It made food safer. It gave warmth. It helped scare away animals, and it turned a dark and dangerous night into a place where people can sit together. But before the night comes, Grug still has daily work to do. Ancient life was not just hunting and running away from animals. There was tool making, clothes repairing, food preparation, teaching, watching children, moving camp, carrying things, finding water, making shelters, checking the fire, and probably asking someone why Grog lost his spear again. So Grog sits down with a stone. He starts hitting another stone. Not sure, but I think he's making a tool. And Grog continues. He hits the stone. Nothing happens. He hits it again, and a small piece breaks off. And Grog smiles. I can't lie, that tiny rock flake took more skill than what I used in a normal day. And that is true. A sharp stone tool was valuable. It could cut meat, scrape hides, shape wood, prepare food, and it was not just random. It was knowledge passed down, hand to hand, person to person, generation to generation. And then the weather changes. Because of course it does. The clouds come in, the wind picks up, and Grog looks at the sky. Ah, no weather app, just pure vibes. Rain starts falling. Everyone begins to move quickly. Food is covered, fire is protected, the children are gathered, tools are moved. Grug tries to carry too many things at once. He drops half of them. Look, I respect the effort, but that is horrible technique. And that's another thing modern people tend to forget. The ancient humans were constantly dealing with the environments: cold, heat, rain, wind, insects, injuries, darkness. And if something happened to go wrong, there was no hospital around the corner. Because a small cut could become serious, a twisted ankle could become dangerous, a broken tool can ruin a day. So survival was not just about being strong, it was about paying attention. It's evening now, and Grog is exhausted. The group finally eats. The meal is not fancy. There is no menu, no sauce selection, no mild, medium, or spicy. It is just food. And because they had to work for every bite, the food means more. So everybody sits around the fire. I can finally calm down. And that's because this part actually feels beautiful. The group talks, children listen, people share stories. Someone explains where the animal tracks were. Someone else laughs at Grug missing the hunt. And Grug pretends not to hear that person. The fire begins to crackle. The sky gets darker. And for a moment, life feels peaceful. But then, night falls. And night is not peaceful. Night is suspicious. There are sounds in the darkness, rustling, howling, cracking branches, and Grug lies near the fire. So Grug closes his eyes, then opens one eye, then closes it again, then hears another sound, then opens both eyes. This man has not had a relaxed sleep in his entire life. And honestly, fair. Grug has managed to somehow survive the entire day. He woke up cold, he looked for food, he followed dangerous tracks, he failed at hunting, he helped with fire, he made tools, he got rained on, he ate whatever the group managed to find, and now he's trying to sleep while something outside the camp sounds like it has teeth. And that is one day, one normal day. So when people say ancient humans were primitive, be very careful. They were not living easy lives. They were solving problems every single day. No supermarkets, no doctors, no GPS, no Google, no emergency services, just memory, tools, fire, teamwork, and courage. Now, Grug might look silly. He might make questionable decisions. Grug might miss the animal by a lot. But Grug is still here at the end of the day. And that means something. Because our ancestors, they were not weak. They were not dumb. They were not just cartoon cavemen hitting rocks. They were survivors. And every modern human today alive comes from people who somehow made it through days like this. So next time your Wi-Fi is slow, or your food delivery is late, or your bed feels slightly uncomfortable, just remember Grug. Because Grug slept on the ground, ate very suspicious berries, got smoke on his face, missed his breakfast with a spear, and still had to worry about being eaten at night. Modern life can be very annoying. But at least your breakfast doesn't run away from you at every single moment. So that's today's Stick of the World. Bad drawings, real facts.